Hello, Abhishek. Thank you for joining us on Conversations with Deepak. You have set up LooCafe in 2016 under the umbrella of the Dr. Rabindranath Foundation. What is the vision of this enterprise and how are you making it
So
sustainable?
we set up this organization called the Exora Corporate Services way back in 2016. So we came in and wanted to set up a digital platform for facility management or cleaning services, basically maintenance, M&E services and stuff like that. While doing that, we also wanted to do some kind of philanthropy. And that's where the foundation came into place, which is the Dr. Rabindranath Foundation. When we were managing malls or buildings, the biggest pain area was always a toilet. So any public toilet generally doesn't last long because of the OPEX cost involved with it. CAPEX is easy because a lot of people give it CSR budgets, the government funds it, but the OPEX becomes a big challenge. So we started thinking, how do we really put this entire thing up in place? It has to be sustainable. It has to have something which actually generates revenue because that's factual across the world, right? In case something does not generate revenue, it becomes a burden as you walk the journey. And that's when most of the products fail. The entire concept was that it has to be sustainable. One, it has to be modular so that it can be moved because most of our cities are developing. And in case something changes, a footprint or a road changes, you could actually move it. So the cost doesn't, you're actually not losing onto the capex. So we all of us were very inspired by a concept which is like a Lego or a Swiss knife. We said we'll have something which is as modular as a Lego. You can actually change it, add things into it, and it has to be more like a Swiss knife. It has to be small, compact, and has a lot of features attached to it so that we actually can scale it up as we walk the journey, as well as the revenue generation point would actually substantiate to the usage of the washroom. So that's when this entire concept of the Loo Cafe came into the place. We said it's called Loo Cafe. It's the Loo, which is the first part of it, and the cafe, which is the second part of it. But the cafe could be very different. It could be a tea coffee cafe. It could be a quick supermarket kind of a place. It could be an ATM. So the first one which we built was in 2018. A lot of changes, permutations, and combinations, and we started building that into shipping containers. So we had a classy one with a small little cafe tucked in, and a lot of elements of other areas like revenues in terms of an ATM, advertisement area, and stuff like that, along with washrooms. Now, when I come to the washrooms, the biggest foresight which we actually wanted to put into place was each of these units should have urinals for men. It should have a women washroom, and it should also cater to physically challenged or disabled. So we wanted to architect something in a very small little space. Now, a shipping container is just around 20 by 8. So we wanted to put a cafe in it, at least 3 urinals, 2 WCs, and a washroom for the physically challenged. So all this got into one thing, and the entire subject called the Loo Cafe came into place. So that's how it was.
You talked about iXora. What is that company all about? And what
So
are the synergies between what you do at iXora and LooCafe?
So Exora is the parent company. So the entire concept of Exora is basically, if you literally feel what Exora means, it's a wild Indian flower which can grow in any circumstance or any climatical conditions across. And Exora has three major verticals. One is facility management, which is cleaning and urban sanitation. Second is the toilets, which comes under the Loo Cafe vertical. And the third one is called the Exora Concepts, where we do a lot of waste management areas of, that's again an area of interest.
So what's the LooCafe business model?
The business model is simple. What we've done is we've stitched a very classy or a neat fabric. Now, when I talk about this, it's got a retail point, which is a POS, a point of sale, and it's also got some toilets attached to it. Now, in this entire model, the toilets are always free to use, which are classy, well-kept toilets, which are always free to use. The revenue is generated from the point of sale or through advertisement. So we've got, each of these units have got a decent advertisement space, and it's also got a point of sale. Apart from doing what we are doing, we are also into manufacturing of toilets. So the LooCafe as a vertical does most of these installations of toilets, which are under PPP, which is public-private partnership. We've actually installed a lot of them across the nation today. And we also manufacture modular units and supply them back to the urban spaces. So it's 100% owned by Exora Corporate Services. But yes, we are very open to look at investors. We're open to look at franchisees. In fact, we've just given out our first franchisee at between Chennai, Pondicherry, and Karnataka. So there's a partner called the Tuya Innovation, and they're going to be actually working with us to take the brand LooCafe across Chennai, Karnataka, and Pondicherry.
What kind of an investment do your franchise partners have to make?
So one is the brand, which is the cost, which is the brand cost. Second part of it is then they invest in these modular units, and there is a typical profit share, which we actually work out on a long-term basis. And then we take this entire thing forward. But the most importantly, what is the like-mindedness of a partner, because that's really important, because not everybody is really focused towards clean public toilets. We are in a country with around 130 crore population. As per statistics, every 1,000 people need one seat. That's what you call it, right? So that means you need approximately around 13 lakh toilets with a life cycle of not more than 3 years generally when a public toilet is installed without an OPEX sustainability cost. So the journey is very large.
So how many such LooCafes are currently operational across the country?
Currently, we've got around 350 operational, making us the largest public toilet entity after Sula in the country. Though that's a very different model, but yes, we've become one of the largest players in the space with around 350 operational and 100 plus already in the process of installation. All these are managed, run, and operated by us with an O&M done by us for next 15 to 20 years. Is that what we sign up? So in next 60 to 90 days, we'll be around 500 plus. And the target is we should achieve around 1,000 plus this year.
What innovative products and technologies are being used in these toilets for you to be able to manage them properly and maintain their efficiency in terms of hygiene and other parameters? What are those parameters?
So we've evolved to understand various parameters, and we understood what are the deterrent factors in each of these toilets. Example, water. So what is the water content? Now, when you look at any of the toilet products, in case the hard water content is there is a different deterrent factor. In case it's soft, it's better. So we've tweaked every single model. I'll give you little examples. Like the flooring, which is coming up on the upcoming toilets now. It's all perforated. So in case you go use a public toilet, and that comes from a habit which most Indians have, don't take me wrong, but we generally spill water when we use it, or there is a lot of water spillage. So when water spillage happens and next person wants to use it, you find it unclean because there is a lot of water around that entire area. And with scalability, it's highly impossible or impractical to have a person standing there deployed that every time somebody uses it, you walk in and you clean the toilet. So we've got a perforated floor. Anytime somebody spills water, that gets sucked in through gravity, no rocket science here, gets routed into rainwater. So very basic stuff, but innovative. Then we started understanding that hygiene is going to play a role. Not that it's in the pandemic time, but hygiene is a role, very, very important aspect. So we started building or working towards nudging. We are trying to get rid of doorknobs totally. So no door handles, it's all going to be nudging. You nudge your toilet and you open your toilet. Next, we realized space of a particular unit makes a very big difference, specifically in the subcontinent. Why am I saying this is because as the temperatures go up, smell levels will also go up. So we realized if you have a smaller space, now it has to be well architected. I'm not talking about large spaces, but a well architected space with dimensions of height going up helps in reduction of smell to a greater extent. So basic ventilation philosophy, that's changed. So we work towards that. And apart from all this, technology plays an extremely important role because scalability cannot be possible without the use of tech. Reason is, any public toilet domain works not only by just installing a toilet, but works with various multifolds. You need to have electricity, you need to have water, you need to have a lots of legal permissions and permutations and combinations. So you need to have, and plus obviously it has to be cleaned on a regular basis. So when you use technology to the right aspect, so what we've done now is we've got a footfall monitor, which gives us a clear indication about number of usage. So we've actually we've put in a concept where after so many uses, this amount of toilet has to be cleaned. Then we've got stink monitoring sensors, which is nothing but ammonia. So urine is ammonia, right? So they monitor smell. They give us an indication as to what's happening on each of these toilets. So we understand what the smell levels are, and in case the smell levels are high, that means the cleanliness is not really good. So corresponding this, so we've started work a lot around the technology aspect of it. We call it the cleaning command center. So this cleaning command center talks about getting all these tech-based systems into place to understand that we are ready for the scale. I'm not saying that everything is ready and it's working fine. There are glitches. We are It's work in progress. But yes, this is the way LooCafe is moving ahead, because scale up is only possible in case the tech piece is ready and working right.
There must be some human intervention at each of these locations for its operation and maintenance. So, what kind of manpower do you have to deploy? And how do you keep them motivated so that they, you know, maintain those hygiene levels?
It's very filmy, very inspired by Sholay. So you had this Dharmender and Amitabh Bachchan in the sidecar of a bike, right? You must have those days. You had this bike with a sidecar to it. So we worked on a concept of having those sidecars. These sidecars have the entire cleaning equipment in it. So anytime a person goes out, he goes on a bike with those sidecars, and it has every single thing in it. So he's well equipped to go clean a toilet. Each of these toilets are into a beat. When I mention a beat, is basically every 10 to 15 toilet become a beat. And that's on an app driven concept, which is moving towards an app driven concept. In next maybe 45 days, we'll have an app which is fully functional. It's on the prototype right now, but right now it's on phone calls. So the beat, every time a person realizes, or the cafe, or the POS person who's running the POS realizes that the toilet is not right, the beat immediately gets activated and he comes and cleans it. So this reduces cost to a great extent, because the philosophy is to run on a beat. Um, how do I keep them motivated? Is basically there is a very clear or a nice incentive management system, and we work on a extensive training program, because washrooms are not really easy, and it's not really easy to get people into washrooms and see toilets on a day-to-day basis. In fact, my WhatsApp is horrible because I've only got toilet pictures in my WhatsApp as well. But yes, so we motivate them. We have a fully furnished or a fully functional training center, which teaches everybody from grooming to exhibit how their body language should be. We also have a very pictorial presentation, which is very filmy in nature, which motivates people, because generally people get motivated when they have aspirations. So we have an entire aspirational pictorial presentation where we actually train every single person as to what has to happen and their milestones. So every time a person achieves a milestone, there is a nice token of appreciation which could be monetized, given to a gentleman. That's also helped us to keep our attrition levels extremely low.